I want to talk to you about freedom. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just briefly, because then we're going to get to the main feature. You gotta love Mike, eh? Isn't he a fantastic communicator? What a gift. What a just an awesome person, awesome individual. I'm so thankful for some of the things. I thank you, buddy. Thanks so much. I love what Mike said earlier today about how, we define things. Things are known for like what they're worth. Somebody's paying thousands upon thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars for Justin Bieber's shoelace, but like, we're still worth more than that because God saw it as reasonable pay, as sufficient funds to send His Son to die for you. I felt so good about myself this afternoon. I was like, hey, I'm worth it. Come on.
Yeah.
And you are too. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there that are worth it that haven't heard it yet. And that's what gets me excited more than anything. Nothing thrills me more than seeing somebody turn from death to life. It's just salvation just stokes me up. So don't ask me why God sent me to a Bible college to work, because I hope they're saved. Because if not, we got to do better on the screening process. But anyways, I think the reason why Kim and I are at this Bible college is I really believe there's a lot of kids that have graduated the last too many years. That I think a passion for evangelism and for the lost has gone missing. And we need to, something happens in Bible college where like between like your second and third year and stuff, you come in, you're ready to be the greatest youth pastor in the world, and you want to see every single student in the nation come to Jesus, and then you just become so in love with, doctrine and debates and theology and words that you can hardly spell properly that have way too many syllables and all that. And then we, I'm all for reading and I'm all for knowledge and all those other things, but I'd rather live a life that's worth reading about instead of just reading about somebody else who did it. I want to be a history maker.
Right.
And I want to do something that maybe is worth somebody else writing about in the future. But we need more theologians. We need more teachers. That's gifted. That's great. And, that's wonderful. But we need more people coming out of Bible college that are just so passionate for places and for people, instead of just sitting down cross-legged at Starbucks in their Birkenstocks and debating about more things. And I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's being taped. I always forget these things. Anyway.
Right on.
Living in freedom and how to be free. I'm going to read a few scriptures to you. I'll tell you where they're found. You can write them down if you want. I won't make you turn there or anything like that. Just let the Word speak to you. I want to talk to you about free stuff. I love free stuff.
Yeah.
I can't pass up free stuff. And I want to talk to you about living in freedom and how we have the tendency to go back to things that we've already been given victory and freedom from. I'm going to tell you about the mouse that was in my house. And the amazing lesson that it taught me. Some people have heard that story. It's just, exactly. I cry. I appreciate Mike was saying about how he was weeping. And there's so many similarities. I'm a crier. Like I'm soft as a day is long. Like So I'm going to tell you about how a mouse moved me to tears. And we're going to have some fun here. Listen, this is it. Just be encouraged here by the word. It says, but the free gift. Man, this is exciting. But the free gift is not like the trespass. For if many died through one man's trespass, much more have the grace of God and the free gift by the grace of that one man, Jesus Christ, abounded for many. And the free gift is not like the result of that one man's sin. For the judgment following one trespass brought condemnation, but the free gift following, see the word free, it's the theme this evening. For the judgment following that one trespass brought condemnation, but the free gift following many trespasses brought justification. For if because of one man's trespass death reigned through that one man, much more will those who receive the abundance of grace and the free gift of righteousness reign in life through the one man, Jesus Christ. Romans 5:15-17. I love free stuff. I have a problem with free stuff. I have signed up for more MasterCards and Visas at hockey games and other events because you get a free t-shirt. And so you sign up, you give your email. I get more emails, junk emails, stupid because I have signed up for free stuff. I have t-shirts that I will never wear Except I just love being able to say that I got it for free. I have a problem when I'm driving around town and I see something on the curb and there is a sign attached to it that says free. It is almost as if the clouds part and a beam of light from heaven just shines ever so abruptly and brightly upon this piece of furniture or houseware, cooking. I don't know what it might. It could just be a bag of garbage for all I know. But it's free. And who knows? Like I'm obsessed with, like, you know, pickers and like all these television shows. Don't shake your head at me, Kat. I'm obsessed with all these things. I just love this stuff. And so my wife and I moved to here. We were setting up our office at the Bible college, and I was with my intern, and we're driving around the city, and I saw this amazing like cabinet, you know. And it's so, because I'm so blinded by the light and the everything and the choirs of angels singing, and that I don't always inspect the items, but I found this big cabinet, and I'm like, oh, I need to have that, and it's free, and so put it in my car, you know, and I drive it, half of it hanging out the back, and we drive it, and I come in, I'm carrying it with the help of several other people, and my wife's sitting in her office doing her thing, and she does work during the day, and I go pick stuff off the curb, I guess, but I'm saying, what are you doing with that? And I just feel like it's you know, it's justified. Hey, no, don't worry about it, it was free, you know. So what? You know, there's a reason. It's garbage. No, this is a fine, handcrafted piece of junk. And, you know, this is authentic IKEA stuff. You know, the Swedes made this stuff. They did quality stuff. You know, and I mean, IKEA, you just can't trust that crap. You know, because like, and IKEA freaks me out too, just because of the directions. You ever seen the directions for the IKEA stuff? They have these two little like weird figures with pointy noses that are wearing no clothes, and they're teaching you how to put these little genderless mutants that are teaching you how to put the stuff to. It's very creepy stuff. There should be a rating. There should be a warning. There should be a parental advisory on every box of furniture that comes from IKEA. It's creepy stuff. But this piece, I tried to put this thing. I had it in the office for maybe a week, and then I'm looking at that, and I'm like. And so then I returned the favor. I just put a free sticker on it. I put it outside our office, and it sat there. And then I eventually had to take it to the dump. I had this thing of free. I have the Costco. You know, like when they do the free. Where's the closest Costco? Where's the closest Costco?
Port St. John.
Prince George. Oh, we need to continue to pray. We need to continue to pray. Back up here. Back up here. We're not done.
Jason sent me that.
So, how many of you you've been to Costco? You've had the Costco experience. So anyway, and just the grocery stores in general, so they have the free samples, right? If I time it just right, there's a Costco in Abbotsford. If I time it just right, I can get lunch a few days a week at Costco for free. For free. And I'm telling you, like, appetizer, main course, I can't be quiet. They asked me to come. I'm sorry. She was telling me to shush, but anyways, we'll pray for her. Listen, if I time it just right, I get the appetizer, I get the main course, I get dessert, like I get everything at Costco. It's absolutely fantastic. Now Devin's with me. Now he's cheering me on. So I just have this thing about free stuff. Now, not all free things are necessarily good. And usually, here's the thing. That thing, though it is free, and it might be junk, but it's cost somebody something. And our freedom that was made available to us by the sacrifices we talked about that Jesus made on the cross, that's free for you and I to accept. But there was a great cost. And we need to understand that. But sometimes we're way too flippant with our freedom.
Yeah.
Sometimes we treat it just like something that we found on the curb. Sometimes we treat it like something that's just going to be there and we can sample it again tomorrow. We use it when we need it. But we don't actually like to live in it and allow it to be our identity. Because the moment that freedom in Christ Jesus becomes your identity, you have a responsibility to live a little bit different. I am tired of the one-night stand type of relationship that we have with freedom, that we have with grace. You listen to me straight right now. I am tired that we basically, I'll censor it because of the age group. I'm tired of we use grace when we need it. We use use grace when we require it. We use freedom and forgiveness when it's necessary and we can apply it to ourselves. But we don't want anybody to know that we're actually in a relationship with grace. We don't want anybody to actually know that we're in a relationship with freedom. We don't actually want anybody to know that we've been bought and paid for, because we just like to keep this relationship just kind of off into the side. We just use that when we need that. That's more of a weekend or a one-night stand sort of thing. I use that to get what I need and what I require. Because the moment that you enter into a covenantal relationship with that freedom, you've got a whole new realm and a whole new whack of responsibility. A free people have a responsibility. You and I have a responsibility to be very, very careful with our freedom. And we need to live in that freedom. That freedom is our identity. That freedom is who it is that we are. And that freedom needs to be shown. It needs to be shared. And it needs to be on us and in us, all around us. And it needs to bring freedom to others as well, too. Okay, let's continue to look at the Word here. Let's continue to camp here. This is in John. This is John chapter 8. So Jesus said to the Jews who believed in Him, "If you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." They answered Him, "We are offspring of Abraham, and have never been enslaved to anyone. How is it that you say you will become free?" And Jesus answered them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who commits sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not remain in the house forever. The Son remains forever. So, if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." John chapter 8, verses 31 to 36. Here's a couple of scriptures when it comes to living in freedom that I think are ever so important. Psalms 146, verse 7. "The Lord sets the prisoners free." I take joy in that because there's things that I've been captive, and there's things that I've been tied to, and there's things that I've been bound, and at times I feel jailed and imprisoned by. But the Lord sets the prisoners free. I'm so thankful that all I need to do is call upon Him, and He has the key. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17. "Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom." I don't know about you, but there's just something about when we just usher in that presence, because He inhabits the praises of His people. And so thus, as we praise, as we cry out, as we worship, as we press in, I'm not just talking musically, but I'm just talking, in the Word and praying with each other and doing all. I'm telling you, He inhabits. He inhabits the praises of His people. And so as we do that, He is there. And He is so present. And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. There's freedom to those things that you felt tied to. There's freedom to those burdens and the stuff that was once said to you. Listen, I don't care how old you are in this room. I don't care where you're from and how mature you think you might be. Listen to me. I know that there's been things that have been said to you by people in the past, like we alluded to last night, and we just started to scratch the surface of, that have just bound you and burdened you for far too long. I know that there's probably a loved one or somebody who maybe did something to you, which was an absolute terrible representation of love. I've talked to students across Canada that have talked to me about the reason why they have a difficulty understanding a father's love is because the earthly father has done this, said this, or the list. I mean, use your imagination. The list goes on of all the things that has happened. That's not the kind of loving Father that Christ is. That's not the loving Father, the capital F Father that you and I know. That love is perfect and it is pure. And it's not about what it is that you can gain. It's about what it is that He can give and what it is that you can grant unto Him. Listen, there is freedom. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom.
That's right.
And that's what that woman realized. You having a hard time with that? Yeah, crazy. Doors these days. Perfect. Thanks. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And like that woman with the issue of blood, she tried all that she could. She did everything that was possible. She all these things, and applied all her wealth and applied all her energy and all these others. Listen, the first miracle in that story is the fact that woman's still alive. She has been bleeding for 12 years. This is more than your average paper cut, flesh wound. I mean, this is serious. 12 years. And she's known as the woman with the issue of blood. That's all. That's what we know her as. I am so thankful that I am not known as Clark Moran with the issue of everything else, you know. But she knew, and she had convinced herself, that's what the Bible tells us, she had convinced herself that she could even just touch the hem of his garment. She knew that she was going to be made well. Listen, how convinced are you that he is capable of doing that which he has promised that he would? Are you convinced? Just because you go to church doesn't mean you're convinced. Just because you pay your tithe, you're on the board, or you were a part of the search committee, doesn't mean you're convinced. I'll tell you what convinces me that you're convinced. Your posture, your praise, all of those other things. The stuff that no one else sees. That moment that when he's passing through town, you'll break the rules and you'll push through the crowd. Because you'll understand that as you seek him, that you will be found. And where he's present, so is freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Galatians 5 verse 1. It was for freedom that Christ has set us free. It wasn't for any other reason. I love the simplicity of this verse. It was for freedom. He said, well, groundbreaking. That was the purpose. It was for freedom. It was so that you could experience freedom, that Christ has set you free. Plain and simple. The cross is freedom's key. With it applied, freedom is supplied. How to be free. Sometimes we abuse our freedoms. Galatians 5:13, for you were called to freedom. Not to abuse it, not to manipulate it, not to twist it, and so you could get away and keep on sinning. It wasn't so that you can say, well, I'm free. I am so sick and tired of talking to these New Age believers and followers of Jesus Christ that are saying, well, it's all under the blood. No. I'm also really tired of the whole phrase, and I don't know how often you guys hear about, people say, I'm just being real. I'm being real. And listen, I'm all for being real, and I'm all for being authentic, and I'm all for being vulnerable and all those other things, and I believe that that's important. But when we use our freedom as a crutch, and when we use, I'm just being real, as an excuse to keep on sinning and keep on struggling in something that we've been given and granted freedom over, there's a problem that's going on here. There's a misappropriation of our fear, and we put it on that thing instead of on the Father. There's a misappropriation of our fear. There's a misappropriation of our worship. There's a misappropriation of our gaze. There's a misappropriation. And what's happened is we've actually fallen into, I believe, what I'd call it idolatry, into this thing which we say, well, this is just me, this is who I am. No. Who you are is a son, who you are is a daughter, and you were set free for the sake of freedom. That's it. That's it. What's the point in going on and just, and abusing this freedom? Well, it's all under the blood. No, it is. But there's no point that you continue to live enslaved to that. That's not freedom. That's a failure. 1 Peter chapter 2:16. Live as people who are free. You ever been tied to something? Do you have that sin? Do you have that struggle? Do you have that memory that you can't forget? I've got some. That nagging sort of thing that the devil, or I don't know, sometimes we give the devil, we were talking about this the other night, sometimes we give the devil Christ-like characteristics, right? The devil's not omniscient, he's not omnipotent, he's not omnipresent, he's not everywhere, all-knowing, all-powerful, he's none of those things. But sometimes it makes us feel better to say, the devil made me do it. Well, what's so special about you that of all the billions of people in this world that he chose to focus all his attention on you? Well, the devil made me. We give him way too much credit. We give him way too much credit. Sometimes it's the fact that we live in a fallen world and we're flesh, and sometimes, that gets the best of us. But anyways, that was totally for free. That wasn't even This is my story. I'm living in Bowmanville with my wife. We've just got this beautiful little townhouse, and God totally had supplied it to us. There was a little season where we were homeless for the holidays. I thought that Disney would buy the rights because it sounded like a catchy title. I thought that would be a really cute Christmas story, but it didn't happen. And it's a long story. I'll share maybe some other day or some other time. But anyways, we're in a nice little townhouse, and God just graced and granted us. And we found mice, and here's how we knew, because there's evidence. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need to elaborate because you know what the evidence is. And so we had found evidence that there were mice in our house, and this was, you have these major conversations, in marriage where you talk about, the children thing. And when my wife and I got married, we kind of had a 5-year plan, and I've been married for 5 years. And I was saying to the guys earlier that I think we've established another 5-year plan. But you talk about the children piece, and you talk about, who's going to, the finances. Can we do this together? And it's just better that I don't touch the money, because if I do, it just goes missing. So I just let Kim deal with those things. You might think that makes me less, but that's totally fine, because it's actually this very smart decision for us to make. But then there's this discussion. It's, when there's an animal or a rodent or a bug, who's responsible to kill it? And so Kim and I had this conversation this night, and I thought it was her responsibility, but I was wrong. And I'm sitting on the couch. My wife is just headed to bed, and it's the night. Remember the Chilean miners that were trapped underground?
Yeah.
Remember that? And so they were sending down this capsule, right? The capsule Phoenix was going down and was burrowing down underground. Listen to me. The capsule Phoenix was going down, and they carved this passageway, and one at a time these miners are being rescued. And so I'm sitting on the couch, and God's just speaking to me, and I'm getting stirred up in my spirit. And so I'm writing this message called the Capsule Phoenix. And wow, isn't that amazing? This one piece going down, rescuing lives, and it's Jesus, sent down from the Father, rescuing lives. And so it's just coming. I'm typing away, and I'm getting all excited, and really feeling stirred in my spirit. And we had set some traps earlier that evening, and we had an episode with a mouse just the previous week. But I was able to. I had a hockey stick right by the door because I had played that night, so I just was able to kind of drag it and shoot it out the door. But anyways, so we'd set some traps. We kind of knew some stuff was going on, and I'm just thinking, like, all right, it's time to go to bed. And I don't know. I just love falling asleep together. I just love it. I waited a lot of years to be able to do that, so I enjoy every moment that we get to be able to. And so Kim's in bed, I'm in the bathroom, and I'm brushing my teeth and washing my face, and just preparing for the sleep that's ahead. And we have this. There's this. Our bathroom was here, and our bedroom was right here. And I finished, and I shut off the light, and I open the door, and all of a sudden, yeah, exactly. Yeah, now you're with me. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. So trap goes off in the kitchen. Okay. Trap's gone off in the kitchen. That's what that noise was. Trap's gone off in the kitchen, and it was ceramic tile, and I'm just hearing this like rattling. Okay. Yeah. So it wasn't a clean kill. Okay. This wasn't a headshot. Okay. So this thing, listen, stay with me. Come on, God's going to speak, trust me. Okay? There's a point. So this thing's bouncing around in the kitchen, just tap dancing away and rattling all around. And I'm sitting here like this. I'm terrified. Because by the sounds of things, I think we caught one of the neighbor's children. Those 4 kids next door, they were just as pesky as the mice sometimes, okay? So whatever. But listen, so I'm thinking, wow, like we've caught a small child, And so I have this thought. Kim usually gets up about half an hour before me because she's more spiritual and she does her devotions or whatever. And I'm like, if I can get into bed, she can deal with that thing in the morning. So then we had this one board in our house that just tells all your secrets. Do you have that board in your house? That one, like, it just wakes everybody up, and everybody knows then that you've been up and snacking in the kitchen, or whatever. So I walk and I'm like, oh. And she goes, "What are you doing?" That's what she said. "What are you doing?" "Oh, hey. I'm coming to bed. Would you like a massage?" Just try whatever I do. She goes, "I heard that." "Heard what?" "The board?" Excuse me. What did you hear?" She goes, "Listen," and you can still hear it. "Oh." I said, "What is that?" She said, "You know what that is." She goes, "Go and kill that." I said, "Kim, I can't. God's creation. You can't do this, And so I'm walking into bed. She goes, "Clark, no, seriously, go kill the mouse." I'm like, "Babe, that is not a mouse. That's one of the neighbors." And so I'm getting into bed. She goes, "Are you seriously doing this?" I'm like, "Doing what?" She goes, "Are you coming to bed?" I said, yeah, can I? You know? And so I'm getting into bed. She goes, I cannot believe you're not going to go down there and kill that mouse. I said, absolutely not. Just let nature take its course, you know? Oh, settle down. So listen, get the log out of your eye before you go worrying about it. I tell you, confessing my sin is good for the soul. We'll get to yours later. So listen. I start walking in bed. This is what she said to me. Now, understand, my wife, she's such an incredible, like, we just joke and laugh. We're best friends. And she goes, I thought I married a man. That's what she said. Get this. This is what I said as I peeled back the covers. I said, nope. And she goes, are you serious? I said, it kind of looks that way, you know? And still, whatever's happening downstairs is still going on. And so my wife gets out of bed. She goes, I can't believe you're making me do this. I said, I'm not making you do anything. You know, you got free will, baby. We can talk about it all day long. Genesis, like, you're making the decision, your choice. She said, I cannot believe you're making me do this. And then, you know, pride kind of, you know, and it usually precedes the fall, and it almost did. But it's so, like, pride just kind of, I get out of bed, I shoot over towards the stairs, I stop her, she's laughing at me at this point. And she said, what are you doing? I said, baby, I can do this. I can do this. She goes, I don't think you can. No, trust me, I can do this. Come on, I just need you to believe in me. I need you to be up here interceding for the next half hour, 45 minutes. She said, you're ridiculous. I'm going to bed. Go kill the mouse. And I said, okay. So I go into our spare bedroom and I start gearing up, you know, because I'm not going into battle here unprepared, you know. So I'm putting on the armor. Come on. And so I got my sweatpants tucked into my socks. You know, I grabbed extra pair of shoes out of our closet upstairs. I got shoes on them, and I got my sweatshirt on. I got my sweatpants up. I'm tightened up. My hood is up and over my head. It is done up. I am geared up. Because I don't know what's going to happen down there. This thing's angry, you know. I don't know if his friends are there, his disciple mice, and they're going to come and attack me, you know, and we're going to have to reach out, cut my ear off kind of thing. I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm heading downstairs. I don't want it running up my leg and biting me and laying eggs and something. I don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know what's possible, exactly. See how quick you guys are to go deal with the mouse now. Yeah, you never thought of this. So here's the deal. So I'm walking through all these steps. I had a feeling that this could happen. So right by the front door, I had a broom, I had a hockey stick, and I had oven mitts waiting for me. So I oven mitt myself. I come in with the broom, and it's like, I'm standing right here on the edge of the kitchen, and in here I'm expecting to see like chalk lines and yellow tape and like flash bulbs, you know, like this is the scene of the crime. And listen, I know I'm up north and you guys have these things probably as pets and stuff. I get that, okay? But yeah, fine. That to me is weird, okay? So listen, this is my situation, this is my story. I'm standing there. You guys ever see CSI Miami? Yeah, okay, see Horatio? You know, and he's got the glasses, and he always does the overacting thing, you know, and it's just like, everything's so extreme. I'm thinking this, like, I'm gonna turn in there, Horatio's gonna be there kneeling over the mouse, he's gonna take off the glasses, some catchy line, like, clearly he's taking the cheese, and then, you know, the who's gonna start playing in the back, you know, it's just gonna be crazy. So I come, and I turn, and I look in the kitchen, and there is nothing. I know, there is nothing. You can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you the truth. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Listen, there is nothing in the kitchen. No sign of a struggle, no anything. You know, no other neighbors, nothing. And so I stand in the kitchen going, what the heck? You know, like, what is going on? Then I hear this rattling going on in the dishwasher. Right behind the dishwasher, I hear this thing bouncing around and rattling. I'm thinking, oh no, like what is happening? You know, like it's a cat. It's got 9 lives. I got 8 more of these rounds to go. Like what's happening? I then tried to pull the dishwasher out, and then I realized, I'm very handy as well too, and then I realized that the dishwasher is bolted to the countertop. So after I nearly wrecked the countertop and cracked it, but don't tell the people that bought the house, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to unscrew it down here on ground zero, because God only knows what could happen down there. So I'm standing on the countertop, I'm bent over, unscrewing the thing, wiggling the dishwasher. I get a lamp, I put a lamp underneath there, and I can see just around the corners and in behind our stove